I finally on?
You are.
Yes.
Lou.
We
I
cannot see
just
you, though.
can't. What in the H? I'm gonna be back here. I'm on Discord. Wow. Holy balls. That took a second. I felt like I was hacking into the mainframe. What's happening here? Where's Friendster?
You're looking at them.
I was just talking about that when we recorded last week, and she'd never heard of Friendster.
No, I'm a child.
Friendster started this whole mess. Let me get my power cord.
Cool. Oh, full disclosure, we are technically rolling.
And when we going?
Yes. This is a very low effort production, so what we do is I just turn
So
on
is
my-
it live? Are we
don't
currently
go
live?
out live.
Great.
I just turn on my screen recorder and then I chop off whatever I don't need at the beginning and the end.
Great.
And that's it, because I'm lazy.
All right, I'm here. Sorry, guys. All right,
You are all
let's
good.
get in there. Oh. It has been a day. I got you
How's
both. Is there a way for me to see you both?
Yes, you can see us both?
You just go back and forth between the same little window.
Okay, that's fun, because
Oh, here we
also
go. Got
can't
it.
see you.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
Yeah,
Good
there's
lord.
like a button at the top. There we
Yeah.
go.
Hello.
There we go. Got it. Hi,
Hey.
guys. Hi.
This is insanely exciting.
Thank you
This
so
has
much
been
for joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No, this is awesome. And the questions are funny, and we'll go from here. So you guys just do a debate-based show?
I mean, essentially, it is a conversation. It's mandatory
Right.
fun because we're both chronic overschedulers, and if we didn't do this once a week, we would never see each other again.
I understand. I did that for a long time with my friend group who was always with D&D. But the problem with D&D, it's too fucking long.
Oh my god, yeah.
6 hours. It's so long. And I was just like, why don't we go? We should go somewhere.
I
We should
don't
do something.
have enough
Or you
friends
work.
for D&D.
All you need is 3 more.
Maybe I can swing that. We'll see someday.
Let's go down to the coffee shop. All right, let me know. Let's jump right in. Because I'll jump at 5. Do my call.
Okay, so hi everyone. We are here for our 150th episode with the one and only Mr. Henry Zebrowski from the last podcast on the left. Holy shit.
Congrats. 150. All you got to do is like 600, 700 more.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
it works for me.
And
Because
that's
I
it.
distinctly remember when Brooks hopped on as my co-host after like running through a couple people who like had things happen in their lives so that they couldn't keep doing it. I was like, oh, haha,
It's a commitment.
we should do this one day. This will never happen.
It's a lot. Dr. Brooks, so what kind of doctor are you?
Well, it's a PhD, but
Hey,
It
you
counts.
went to 90 years of Nerd Academy.
yes. Oh, I gotta start calling it that actually.
You should.
Yeah.
What is it in? What is your doctor in?
It is in communication. I do like media studies.
So you're like a master of talking.
No. But no, I basically watch TV and movies all day, and then I talk to students about it. I study them.
That's incredible. What a racket.
Yeah, no, it's
That's-
fantastic.
That's a great job.
And then I strong-armed her into friendship by just showing up to her office hours and not leaving.
Yeah, she was in my
That's what you
classes.
Whoa, that's a teacher and student?
Yeah, I ran out of media classes to take in the comm department, and we just kept talking.
That's awesome. That's really fun. But it was one of those classes too where you would watch movies and you guys discuss movies and like that's kind of like what you do.
No, it's more
I'm
like
just interested. Now I know I'm interviewing you.
No,
no,
absolutely.
no one
Yeah.
has ever asked me questions before.
yeah, no, I mean their classes mostly where we talk about like the effects of media on people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like is there something maybe I could say what's surprising? Is there anything you're like, what?
Well, my own research, I research spoilers. Like,
Ooh.
so people believing that if they learn in advance how like a movie's gonna end, it ruins it. most research indicates the opposite. It makes us enjoy it more.
That's what I'm saying. Natalie and I, my wife Natalie and I, get into it sometimes because I'm one of those where, like, I'll Wikipedia the movie just because I was like, I'm not investing. If, like, I want my guy to win, right? It's either that or I want it happens. It's like, because for some reason it takes an anxiety away from me. Now it's just like, oh, now I kind of know where shit's going.
Yeah.
And I can pay attention to the details.
I'm a person who likes to be surprised. So, like, I know that, like, maybe I am, like, contradicting the research and, like, I would still behave following that in some sort of clinical study setting, but I feel like I enjoy it more when I don't know what's coming.
That's interesting, too, because I actually feel it for reading with fiction.
Okay.
A lot of times with certain books I'll read multiple times. Like Dune, obviously I've read the series Dune multiple times. The Dark Tower, I've read that multiple times. There's certain books that come to PKD, I read his stuff multiple times. But it's like, for the most part, if I already know what's happening, I'm like, did it. Put it on the to burn pile.
That's fair.
You know, because that's what I do. As soon as I'm done with books.
Yeah, no,
I immediately burn them. But then I tell people if they see me burning them, I'm like, I liked these books.
That's what you have to do if you're backpacking and you take a book with you. You, like, tear off the pages that you've already read and, like, put them in your campfire so it doesn't add to the weight that you're carrying the whole time.
Whoa. It's very cool.
Anyway,
very
before we get to any of the questions, I do just want to say, I'm sure that these all blend together for you, but we have actually met before.
No. Did you do an interview?
I'm sending a picture into the chat for this video channel right now.
Let me see. Where is it? I don't even know where the chat is, guys. This Discord thing is driving me.
Upper right.
Oh god, no. I clicked on this thing. All right, you went over here in the messages. Oh, dip! Oh, wow. This was in, was this Omaha?
Buffalo,
man. Buffalo's we had a great, I feel like that was the time that we went on the saddest bar crawl of the world.
Oh, no shit. That's kind of
because
fun.
we kept going into places that were completely, like, dead. Fluorescent lit. No, and dead. But then they kept, like, we had to, like, leave. We were wandering around. It's a very strange town because also, well, you know, also Buffalo's got that, one of my very, very good friends and our editor of the LPN, our, like, last podcast on the comic book on the left, Courtney, she lives in Buffalo, and there's a bar that is the president's, you know what I'm saying? It's like president themed.
Oh.
You ever seen this thing? You hear about this?
No.
You know about this?
This does not sound like the vibe I want while I'm drinking, though.
Yeah.
It's good, though. It's called Founding Fathers.
Oh, okay.
It's called Founding Fathers, and it's great. It's awesome. It's a great dive bar, and they serve food and stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like necessarily the best vibe, but I would give it a chance.
It's you know, it's got a lot of wood in there, and it's got a lot of there's a lot of old men.
Yeah, let it just.
But you know, it's sometimes though it's good to see, you know, because that's them having fun, just sitting there cryptically watching whatever silent sports games. Because I think that's what I remember about it, is that it was silent.
Ooh.
It was no music. No music, and just sports. You know when you sometimes a bar, it feels like they've turned the brightness up on the television, so it was like super bright, soundless sports with men just like nursing it. Great bar. Honestly, when we arrived, we had a good time because we joked, you know. But then, yeah.
I'm so here for it.
I love this. That's so cool. I'm glad you guys, you know, you saw the show.
No, we had a blast. So for anyone who's been watching this podcast for a hot minute, just strap in for probably what will be our most explicit, blasphemous episode yet. If you're like,
I'm trying to be.
I'm changing. No, like I've been saving these questions specifically for this, like as a hypothetical in my mind for the longest time because I couldn't think of any other like person that I would willingly like invite to come talk to either of us and be like, here's this ridiculous fucked up shit that we're gonna talk about.
It's important because sometimes I found, especially with interviewing people, is that like I love me. You know, I think I crush, right? I think I'm great.
I swing
And I find out
back
that
and
sometimes,
forth between thinking that I'm the funniest, most entertaining person to ever that anyone could be talking to being like, why have I ever said a word my entire existence?
oh yeah, that's me that's me in the night. I save that in the night, but normally I love me, but it's so wild to find somebody who just fucking doesn't. You know, and
That's
then
why
you
I
start
never
talking at
trust
them,
how
and
I feel about my life after like 5 p.m.
just you never know.
As soon
You
as
never
the
know.
sun
But
goes
thankfully,
down,
you don't know what's happening.
precisely.
But yes, please give me your troublesome questions.
Okay.
I'm
So the
used
first
to
question.
negotiating my way through all sorts of troublesome areas.
Okay, so the first question is separated into like the main question and then a sort of sub point. So the main question is, would you fuck a clone of yourself?
Okay. Now I've been thinking about this. Now, you guys it's different because I feel like I'm not alone in this, but I am very unfortunately cishet, right?
Okay.
I like even like I need a curve, right? I need something in there, right? That is feminine for me. I'm into in terms of like the thing is that like um I pity Natalie sometimes just because I think I'm a good kisser. Like I think I'd kiss me, but my problem is that it's I did a little bit of this. I talk about this with Marcus on Side Stories about how my main issue with overcoming our problems about being twin flames, right? Because we did all our research after the twin flames universe cult, and we know that we're twin flames.
I
We
love
haven't really got to the point where we haven't conjugated it yet because of my blocks.
Gotcha.
And like my main block, as I said, like it would be the difficulty of it's like I'm having problems with like Marcus nude, prone, laying there waiting for
lines.
me. Yes, because also we believe we got to switch because we run a company together. So we can't have different dynamics at the same time. So sometimes it's got to be bottom, sometimes it's got to be top. We got to switch back and forth.
Okay.
I feel like if I was a bottom, I can just be like, oh, it's an alien, and I just let it go, right? But I think that when it's my difficulty as a top, right? Because I'm looking at his butt, right? And it's hard to get there. You know, it's hard to motivate myself. I'm really afraid that I'll be making me laugh, right? We'd be hanging out all night, obviously plastering me with drinks.
It happens.
All night. Because I'm good at it. You know, I'm a structured date person.
Okay.
You know, I say we should go out and do XYZ Henry too. He'd probably be mad. First of all, he'd be like, "Oh, I'm Henry too," and I'll be like, "I have the base memories."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't have quite the same sort of issue to get over immediately because I am bisexual. So like men.
It helps.
Definitely helps. Here's the thing. I know what I like.
That was gonna be my argument.
I know what I like.
Yeah, like I am cishet. I put myself at like maybe 85% hetero. So that helps a little bit. But yeah, like I think the deciding factor would be like nobody would know better than I would.
But I know
that
when it came down to giving me, let's take all the guardrails off here. If it comes to sucking my own dick, right? I know that once I'm in the position, I'm going to be like, man, buddy, can't we just watch something on the TV? I know that once we got down to it, like, because then it's just, you know, because probably the other Henry is all like, we got to do this for the fucking show so that this is content.
Also,
obviously,
you're thinking about it from like a marketing standpoint.
I have to.
Because like,
that's the only way I'm going to get there. I've already said it's the only way I'm going to get there in terms of, oh my God, you have to, in order to get me to Like jump out of a plane, jump out of anything like that. As long as you tell me it's
You're
for
not
the
a
show,
heights guy.
no,
Ooh, interesting. That is one of the like
no.
innate human fears that like just it missed me. I have no problem with it
I'm
whatsoever.
proud. You should be so lucky
That and snakes.
because I love snakes.
I love snakes. I have a pet python.
I also
That's
have a
awesome,
pet
actually.
snake.
She does.
That's
too.
awesome. Oh,
I
you
am
snake
directly
people?
responsible
That's
for
why
that.
you're friends.
No, I'm directly
That's why you're friends.
responsible for that because one time I was like, "Oh my god, Dr. Brooks, can I show up? Can I bring my snake to your office hours?" And she was like, "Haha, sure, Bridget." I was like, "Oh, bet." So then the next
did
day I
it.
showed up to her office with a live python, and that's how she found out that she liked
That's-
snakes.
That's awesome. I see. I like snakes. I wanted one. There was like during a brief time when I was single, I was gonna get one, but then apparently, then you become like it depends. Then you can become a snake guy.
Here's the
I
thing.
think
I have yet to become a snake girl. I have a snake and a cat, and like as far as my cat is concerned, that the big box in my room just contains nothing because it's up so high that he can't
That's
even
probably
see into it. But like
probably best
they're so low maintenance. They are so
because
low
when that
maintenance.
snake, because you can see the cat getting in at the snake, right? And then it's like with the snake attack, it's a python because the python could eat the fucking cat.
I don't even know if she could do that. She's kind of on the small side.
Yeah. I think she's also not smart enough.
No, she's.
Are you also a multi-pet, multi-race pet home, Dr.
Yeah,
Brooks?
well, my snake is a Western hognose snake.
He's a shoelace.
And yeah, he's a tiny little orange guy, and I have two cats.
That's cute.
Yeah.
They
The
don't
one
fuck
cat,
with the snake?
well, the one doesn't even notice them. The other one jumps up on top of his enclosure if I don't keep her out of there and keep the door closed.
I mean, I would be fascinated if I was a cat.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would
I
too.
feel like
But like,
that's
yeah,
food.
I have to feed her.
There's food in here.
I feed her every other week. And I make sure she has fresh water, and that's literally it. As long as her heat mat is turned on and her like lamp, I could do like she's fine being handled. She doesn't
Would
care.
you not take her out? She
Oh,
hang
I
out
do.
with you?
I walk.
Do snakes bond like that?
I don't really. I mean, I like to delude myself into thinking she does because love her. But like
Yeah.
in the summer when it's hot out and like when there's like a lot of sun, I'll take her out to like get some sun, enjoy the weather. Like I walk around my neighborhood with a python around my neck. Who cares? I love scaring.
See,
my
that's
neighbors.
awesome. That's awesome.
But if I never touched her again, she wouldn't give a fuck.
Oh man, that's the only thing. Because
They're
I like.
so low maintenance.
Yeah.
We should rebreed snakes, so they do the thing where they go like they show up and like they're happy to see you. Like if we could get snakes like a friendlier
I don't know if
version of
it's happy
snakes.
to see me, but like she sees something moving outside the tank, so she will like look
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
do
like-
the little tongue flick.
Yeah, automatically.
Very frightening. That's
Yeah.
cool though.
She's so
Yeah.
stupid.
I
I
do
love
like it.
her. There's
Yeah,
not a
That's so
single
cute.
flaw
No,
in that
Wendy,
head.
but I know Wendy. The dogs will not. They could not handle a snake. I think that maybe that's a problem. I think that my dogs could not handle a snake.
That's fair.
And so also I say that, but at the same time, I walk in the living room not 2 weeks ago. I got one dog just sitting there hanging out. I got the other dog just sitting there hanging out, and then I look, full-grown raven in the middle of just sitting in the like hopping around in the living room. Came in through the back door, and it's like hopping around the living room, and it's like you guys have one job.
Wow.
Like you need to defend this house against birds and flies. They don't like flies.
I was gonna say you brought them in specifically to like rid your home of ravens.
Always, yes. That's the only. Yes,
there you go.
that's it.
But yeah,
No, they're there for emotional support.
I love it.
Back to Would I Fuck Me? No, it'd be
Yes.
so hard to. I think I'm a hilarious, and I think
Okay.
I think what it is that I think that Natalie would get mad at me because I don't think I have to stop saying I'm gross or whatever. But it's like my humor makes up for a lot. And if I was hanging out with me, I'd way more be like, you go record the show for me so I don't have to do anything.
That's
I think instead of fucking, it'd be way more like, you go work, your work Henry, I'm fuck Henry.
okay.
I go out there, I fuck, I go to the amusement parks, you work. You know what I mean? Because you're number two. And then eventually he'd rise up and kill me.
All right.
Am I
I'm gonna
supposed
say
to say,
final
would this
answer.
turn into like a-
I think I would fuck a clone of myself. Final answer.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. I don't know.
Okay.
I
Well,
feel like I
Because
need
you
to
know
see
what you
your
want, but would you
distribution.
would you really be able to give yourself what you want?
Yeah, that's
Because
the
also
thing.
with me, I don't know. I don't know. Because also with me, guess what? If I was with me, it'd need to be 45 seconds long. And that's also kind of the problem, is that to get to that point, I have to be pretty positive about the situation.
That's fair.
So the idea of me, I'm not struggling into it, because I could definitely go like this, but also it could feel my wrist hairs. You know, I got thick arm hair. You know, and then just hear me choke on my own penis.
So the
And just
second,
go, ew. This is gross. Stop it.
the second point to this question does kind of require a yes. So we're holding that scenario in our brains regardless of what our original answer was. If you are to fuck a clone of yourself, is it masturbation or incest?
Oh, that's masturbation.
That's what I thought.
That's my.
Even
It's
if there's
masturbation.
two versions of you,
'Cause-
you're doing it to yourself. It is self-pleasure.
Well, there are certain people. So, like Barbara Streisand, right? She famously cloned her dogs.
Yes.
She did 3 rounds of them. And she says, which I actually found very interesting, each dog was still different.
Okay.
They look just like the old dog, but they had different attributes. So, yeah, maybe he knew me, because who knows? Maybe Henry II's a fucking can't wait to suck my dick.
It's possible.
And then honestly, and then you just be like, well,
I'm here.
then you go. You go, boy. You go. Here's your fucking Christmas time. Because Christmas came early. Ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling. You know, it's a dinner bell.
Wonderfully appropriate shirt to be talking about dick sucking in, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, but yes, I forgot I had it on. But then, yeah. But would I? Yeah. So I view it as masturbation because, then actually, if it's exactly the same, it's the masturbation, right? If he shows up and we're both going like, bro, let's just go on a road trip.
Yeah,
or something.
like think of this as like an
Let's film
exact
this.
duplicate of yourself, then it's definitely masturbation.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, because
That's what I
like when they clone you, it's not like they usually don't get your memories, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a whole nother
don't
person
know.
forming entirely like separate memories from you, and at that point they become a unique individual.
So you're
Wait,
saying
that's when
it's
it
incest
becomes
because
really-
they share your DNA.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
interesting because that gets into sort of more of a question of details of like people do this all the time. Every single time there's always like one of these. They're like, but what if
Yeah.
you didn't? And you're like, but if we knew the process by which the clones were being made, because certain sci-fi realms have the either fake memories or a facsimile series of memories downloaded, preset up. He literally, or does he come out as a 39-year-old man going like, like not knowing how to walk like a baby man?
I would
Right? Because then
assume
that's really gross.
that is extremely gross.
Because if
I
I
was gonna say that's definitely not what's happening. I'm thinking of like whatever sort of ideal sci-fi scenario is just like there is another me that exists. It is the exact same thing.
Yes.
Now there's just two. That's
yes,
it.
that is definitely masturbation to
That's
me.
masturbation.
I just feel like that if they're different, like if it's like multiplicity.
Yeah, then it's probably
Well,
incest.
That's what I was gonna bring up before. When we were talking about your phone like being the work, Henry. I was like, is this gonna turn into like a multiplicity situation?
There you go.
What I could do with 2 more of me,
But I mean,
I
if
could
that's
create
the scenario,
havoc. I
if
could
that's the
create some.
scenario, then
I
it
could
still
do
works.
some. I could get stuff done. 2 more of me,
Oh yeah, no.
man.
I'd be having a great
Thinking
time.
about that. A lot of people will probably be upset.
Eh.
And I know that there'll also be. It's just, I get it.
It
You
happens.
people tell you you're too much, but what are you gonna do?
I've been
I'm
being told
built like this.
Yeah, no, I was told I was too much from a very young age by several people, and it was damaging.
It's hard, man, because guess
But
what?
now
I'm
we're
not
cool.
too. I'm not too much. I'm just enough.
Okay, I know that you have a hard deadline for recording tonight, so with that in mind,
See.
I'm gonna say maybe skip the next question.
You come at me.
Just
You
to
tell
make
me what.
sure
I'm here.
That we have time,
150 episodes strong.
and if we do,
150 episodes.
And if we do, we'll circle back to it. So,
Yes.
This one is significantly less obscene. What's one unsolved mystery that you'd like to see solved before you die?
You know, it's interesting. You see how the new stuff came out about JFK? Did you
That's the
read any of
funniest
this?
thing. Because the one I want, what did we do with his brain? Where did it go? Where is JFK's brain? How did we lose that?
It's in a trash can.
Yeah,
Somewhere
it's
in the White House.
probably just incompetence rather than conspiracy, but man, imagine if it is.
It's hard because with JFK, it's like, I guess sometimes I waver because people ask, like, what do you want to know the truth of? And there's a part of me that says stuff in the past doesn't even really matter. Like, if we did know what actually happened with JFK now, I don't think anything's going to change. Right? I don't think I don't even think if it turned out that the CIA did the whole thing. I think the CIA would come out and be like, you know, we've really learned and grown over these years. You know, I mean, like,
what are you gonna do?
Did you see the CIA's Happy Pride post that they put out?
No.
They're ahead of the curve.
Unbelievable.
They know what they're doing. It's good, but so that's why, like, it's hard. Like, I feel it's hack, but there's a mystery that I want to know. It's like I want to know where the other biological aliens are, because I think that I know that there is a psychic contingent to whatever is going on, but I want to know if they're where the hell the biological aliens are and on what point in the ladder are humans.
Yeah, I would like to know that as well.
You know, just kind of because we'd probably find out a lot about ourselves once we find out.
Really stereotypical one, but I also just would like to know the exact timeline of events of the JonBenet Ramsey case, just because it was such a botched crime scene that, like, we're never gonna get any straight answers whatsoever. So if I could have that information just beamed into my brain, that'd be great.
It really is. Like, the more that the years go on that case, we've kind of floated maybe that'll maybe be one of the ones we redo at some point. We don't know, because I thought at this point more stuff would come out, but like truly a mystery. Like, I feel like a lot of people, I think that pointing towards the parents is still too obvious, and I still think the brother is also got a lot. That theory's also got a lot of holes.
At the risk of leading into another separate conversation entirely, because of some of the history stuff that's been done recently, have you guys ever considered covering Chernobyl?
It's been on the list. You know what it was? It's Marcus and I talked about this at the top of the Andrew Cunanan series about how, like, we are both such old school, like, elder millennial internet people where we're like, they just made a television show about that. We don't want to, like, be like, everyone's talking about it, so we don't want to do it at the same time. And now we realize, like, no, that's called marketing. Normally you do a show at the same time when a big show comes out.
That show is fantastic.
So that it would.
Chernobyl was particularly
love that show.
Chernobyl was particularly interesting to me because I took Russian in college and I studied abroad in St. Petersburg for a month.
Ooh, interesting. I wonder what that was. What is Russia like?
I mean, at, like, kind of current political unpleasantness notwithstanding, when I was there, you can fucking Uber Eats Starbucks in Moscow, man.
It's all they had the same shit.
Yeah,
they got the same shit. Because
that
was like, for a while, that was Putin
Russian.
was trying to get going for a while. Yeah, Putin was trying to have it be more cool there or whatever. And then, I don't know, you know, he doesn't seem cool no more. This is my global political speech. Putin don't seem cool no more.
I say that's a solid stance.
Me thinks Putin needs an attitude rectitude. You know what I mean? I think somebody needs to go down there, flip a chair in front of him, do an informational rap about how his stuff's not cool anymore. And I honestly feel like if we got Michelle Pfeiffer to do it,
yeah, that'll work.
He'd flip.
Yeah. Dangerous mindset. Yeah.
Every time. But that's why, but I feel like that's what, but it will get to, but Chernobyl I found really fucking fascinating because it's one of those where you don't particularly understand that the government kind of helped it all be a massive disaster.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But just short answer.
Also, I do know that they turned a bunch of people into one hot lady. in the Chernobyl show. It's like what they
Yes,
did was
sort of
like
a stand-in
they
for,
just
like,
made a
every
bunch of
sort of like a stand-in for like every scientist that helped work on this.
Yeah.
But no, short answer is St. Petersburg is absolutely lovely. I had the time of my life, and someday I really would love to go back and see more of Moscow because it's such a big city and we were only there for one weekend.
I would love to go.
So
I would love to go.
there's my
We're going to do last
there's my
podcast
short
live in
answer.
Moscow. I want to go. I want to go. I want to do it on the wall. I want to go to the Berlin Wall. What's left of it?
Hell yeah.
They have that one little patch in Berlin, and I want to do a live podcast from the last section of the Berlin Wall.
Yes, I'm so here for it. But yeah, those are my unsolved mysteries that I would like to see solved before I die. Those are my main two. I want to know what the hell we did with JFK's brain, and I want to know precisely what happened in the JonBenet Ramsey case. Basic as that may be. Brooks, what do you got?
I don't think it's that basic.
I have like an actual. It's not necessarily a crime one, but I also have a personal one.
Okay.
Because I know I've ranted about this case on the pod like more than a year ago,
I
but
know what this is.
Brian Schaefer.
There it is.
Yeah. So
Why
this
does that sound
guy,
really familiar?
he went missing from a bar in Columbus, Ohio in March of 2007. March 31st, 2007. I remember the exact date. And they never figured out what happened to him. And it's one of those cases that you can just like get really lost in because it makes no sense whatsoever.
This was one of the guys they tried to tie into the smiley face killer.
Yes. Yeah.
And the smiley face killer, I'm still wavering on. I don't know
Yeah.
whether or not that's a thing,
Mhm.
but it is interesting because obviously it's the demographic that don't ever get murdered, right? It
Mhm.
doesn't like, it's the so it's it, there
And
is
also just
so
in
many.
general, like,
For those
where
of you
did
that
he
don't know,
go?
yes, I'm looking at this
Can
now.
we
I wonder
do a
if there was
relax fit
this is
about this?
this is
Well,
very interesting immediately.
Yeah, the reason it's so weird is because I went to graduate school at Ohio State, and the bar that he went missing from is like right next to campus. This happened like a year before I moved there, and it's a second floor bar. It's like
Yeah.
you have to go up an escalator to get to the bar entrance, and cameras show him going into the bar. There is no footage of him leaving the second floor bar.
Yeah, that's what that's wow, that's weird.
And I've
That's
listened
fucking
to
weird.
True Crime Garage. I don't know if you know that pod, but they did
Oh yeah.
a couple episodes on it. Actually, that's how I heard of Last Podcast on the Left the first time. Was listening to them
That's hilarious.
years ago. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, they did like a real deep dive on it, and I just it's driving me insane. Like, how can somebody go missing from a second floor bar and never be seen again?
I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna send this over to Marcus. This is very interesting.
Can we do a relaxed fit of this,
Yes,
please?
dig into it.
I have.
You've got feet on the ground right here, Ohioan.
This is so interesting.
Yeah.
That's the type of stuff. I mean, obviously, it's very frightening.
Oh yeah,
But just that
100%.
idea of just
Gone.
disappearing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just gone. No one has any idea. Again, if you're dead, what does it matter? But still, like
Yeah.
that idea of just like, just
Yeah.
somebody just turn around. Like as I got real deep in the missing 411, but that's like something else entirely. That's all the national parks
That
stuff,
shit's
which is
freaky.
still like very freaky. But I also just think you just forget just how quickly a city slicker like me can get wrecked
Oh,
in
yeah.
nature.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. Well, that's and what's the other? What's your personal? Is that the personal one?
no, that's the actual case. Although some people
so-
like think he just like decided to like peace out on his life and like started a new identity and stuff, and it's like, but how would
But
that
where
even
did he
happen?
go?
I've been in that bar before. They actually do like these big fishbowl drinks, and you get a plastic alligator in it. You get to keep the alligator.
Love it.
That's hilarious. No, these guys are truly. What do you get out of disappearing and creating a new life? It sounded like he was living a great life
Yeah, he was
and
a good
having
student.
fun.
Yeah.
He was like a young guy.
Yeah.
The ugly
So-
tuna.
Ugly Tuna Saluna. Yep. So,
That's so
Is that still there?
yeah, as far as I know. I
That's
mean, I
cool.
haven't lived in Ohio in 10 years, but yeah.
So what's your
Yeah,
personal
so-
tip?
No, all right, now I'm into this. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Now I'm just reading the case.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
now I'm saving this. I'm saving this.
Yeah,
This is a
so
good rabbit hole.
that one like will just randomly keep me up at night, just on occasion. Yeah. I have one
Yeah,
that is
great.
hyper personal that will never be solved. so my current home, I've lived here for 8 years. But when I first moved in, about 2 weeks after I moved in, Bridget, I'm sure you've heard this before, nobody else had been in my home for like more than a week. I was still unpacking, organizing, and everything. And beneath the basement stairs, I found a Chips Ahoy cookie. I had never brought any into my home, and it hadn't been there before.
Do you have inspectors?
No, I rent a townhouse. Nobody has been in here. Well, had at the time had been in here.
Good.
8 years ago.
The Chips Ahoy murderer.
Like,
He stayed there because he had to clean blood off,
Wow.
and he left. He left one of his. That's really fucking. That's one of those where I am very. You've heard me say it on the show, and it's real. I do believe that reality's super thin, right? That you can really change shit pretty easily in your own.
That's what I was thinking.
You know,
Same in the Matrix, you know?
yes, that's a glitch in the Matrix.
That makes sense.
Where like somebody dropped a cookie somewhere, and then he was like, "Where'd my fucking cookie go?" And then it just like ended up in your basement.
Okay.
Yeah. Freaks me out.
So mysteries having been solved.
That is freaky.
Or mysteries that we want solved. The final thing that I have is this screenshot of a tweet, and it involves a person replying to his own tweet. Do you guys think Christ was a boobs man or an ass man? And then the first comment, this person replying to their own tweet is, this isn't a disrespectful question, by the way. If you're Catholic, you believe Christ was fully human, fully divine. To deny that he had sexual temptation implies that he wasn't fully human, making you a blasphemer, punishable by excommunication for most of history. Now answer, boobs or ass?
He definitely, Christ, if he was indeed an actual figure, if he was a religious person at the time, or a religious figure of any sort, he definitely would have had a wife. He definitely would have had a family. I imagine they talk about this as they think he did exist. He probably had a wife and his family. Dan Brown loves it. Tom Hanks is out there looking for the proof to this day. He misses it. He misses it. But I think it's got to be butt.
I was gonna say, and I'm basing this on absolutely nothing but vibes, but I think he was an ass man.
Yeah, it just feels right.
Wow, you made this decision.
He's got these disciples, right? And maybe there's a little bit of what I was talking about before, right? He's Jesus Christ. Or if he's real, probably an alien entity that's been channeled into some man somewhere. Probably pansexual.
I dig.
I put him towards, right? I think he's doing everything. I think he's doing everything. And then I think that when he's with these disciples, right, they're doing nothing but walking, slowly but surely sculpting the butt. And then you just start kind of everywhere you go, you got eye candy.
Yeah.
You know, you got these guys like, you know, anytime you turn around, you can see these like, whoo, you know, you're like, damn, Joseph. No, that's his father. Yeah.
Well, I
what's
mean,
the other one? Was it Anthony?
When you put it like that, I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, he probably.
I don't know if he'd hit on his own father.
Probably
he just sees a lot more asses because, like,
a lot more asses.
Surrounded by him, you know, all those disciples.
You don't think he didn't have groupies who showed up and like, hey, Jesus, there's something, you got to heal my butt. There's something wrong with my butt.
I'm sure.
You know, that's what I would do. That'd be the line I'd send across. Be like, wink, hey, Jesus, turns out my butt went blind. Can you do anything about it? Yeah, be like, take a look. I want to take a gander. And then he's like, Kazam! You know, and then he does, I don't know what that does. You know, be like, oh, I can see out my butt.
I was going to say, then you have eyes on your butt. Yeah, because...
That's kind of fun.
This is not what I wanted. He's just like, welcome to the Twilight Zone. You get nothing but ironic wishes granted.
Oh, I love those episodes of The Twilight Zone where there's no discernible moral. It's just like, man, wouldn't it be fucked up if that happened?
Yeah, it would be fucked up. You flip that coin, you can hear people singing. Yeah, I love that episode. But yeah, he's definitely, you know, because, you know, boobies are great. I consider myself a boobie man. But also, I like a butt too. But I think he was right on the butt.
Okay. Do we think we can do the one that we skipped really fast so that we can do our concluding segment and give you enough time to get where you need to be going?
Let's do this.
Okay. So here's the one that we skipped. Would you rather fuck a goat and no one know about it, or not fuck a goat and have everyone think you did?
Fuck a goat and have no one know about it. Because obviously I want it.
Okay.
If I'm fucking this goat.
Here's the thing. I'm going to say have everyone think I did because for my own peace of mind, just knowing that I am correct and everyone else is wrong.
You're going to be real mad when you're named goat fucker every single time you go bowling. You're going to be real upset every time you go. I mean, anywhere you go. They're going to be like, you know, I heard she fucked a goat. You know what I mean? You're always going to be like, I didn't fuck any goat. You know, like, unless you're just like, yeah, whatever. I'm pharmasexual.
Brooks, quickly.
Which I actually don't think that's good.
Oh, it's
yeah.
not.
I'm with Henry on this one.
Okay.
I'd rather just, you know.
Yeah, because obviously I want to fuck a goat. It sounds like I got away with it. Scot-free.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, it's such a brief experience for a lifetime of not having to, you know, constantly tell people, you know.
Because if you wanted to fuck a goat, like, that's the thing. Like, if you wanted to have sex with a goat and you never got to, and everyone's saying all that shit, because honestly, also, again, I don't know if it's, like, super easy to get done, but it's doable.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like,
I'm sure it's happened many times in the flyovers.
It's happening right now.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, and I don't like to think
I'm certain
about
it's happening. I don't like it's happening right now. And I just hope they're wearing a condom.
Yeah.
Didn't Marcus say something along those lines at one point? I think it was sheep, maybe he was talking about.
Yeah.
His family, not him, but his older extent, past his father, like in his grandfather's time, it was very normal, quote unquote normal.
Yeah.
To every once in a while make love.
You know,
I'm gonna say make love to a sheep, but it's just because again, I don't know. I don't. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't, because it really requires that's a long process. You know, drawn in a bath,
and again,
because again, all the nettles covered in sharp nettles.
Oh God, yeah, no, thank you.
Never touched a goat. I don't think. I can't imagine it's pleasant.
I've never been to a petting zoo.
Oh yeah, you real city.
I've never even been to that. I've been forced to ride a horse several times. And I don't like it.
I rode a horse a couple times as a kid on like a field trip or something. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, they always, which is also like, to be honest, it's a massive risk.
Oh yeah, no.
Just being on a field trip and putting kids on horses, like, it's not a good idea.
Yeah, it probably wasn't, but I enjoyed it at the time. Okay.
Yeah, because you don't know.
We have a concluding segment here that we like to do called the Weekly Worsening, which is where we share how the ways that we are more authentically ourselves this week that make us as individuals harder for everyone else to tolerate.
Sure.
So, like, the way that I am worse this week is that I started playing Elden Ring.
You see, I feel like it helps you communicate with people.
And that's going to make me so much worse as a person. It's going to make me so much more annoying to be around. But I'm having fun, and that's the only thing that matters.
I ain't gonna let you yuck your yum, because I think that's gonna help. I think it gives you an outlet. You know, you can go kill things in there. You don't do it in life. Yeah, that's the idea. You get it out that way. You know, Marcus loved his Elden Ring. All the boys loved their little Elden Rings.
We do stand.
It was very competitive for them. They loved it. How did I make myself worse? It's funny. It's that I'm having a good week.
I mean,
I'm having
making yourself worse could just be smoking a shit ass ton of weed.
I fucking didn't eat. I just smoked my normal amount of weed. I feel that way. I made myself. How did I make myself worse? I went and I did. You go. Dusty.
For me, I am currently in a worsening period with my 3D printer. I'm just insufferable about it. And the other day I went to my local nerd emporium, which is a delightful place full of like manga and D&D stuff and all kinds of board games and, you know, just all the nerdy things. there's like a whole disc golf section. Like it's Nerdaporium. And I bought
That's
like
great that actually it is that
yeah,
is a nerd thing now, because
yeah,
that used to just be stoners and jocks.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's just very like a stark contrast. Board games, disc golf. But I went to get like the miniatures paints and stuff like that, so I could get like good paint for my 3D models. And it's like this.
Yeah.
Very proud.
Yeah,
See, man,
like,
no, I think it's good. You're gaining control. You're gaining
I started
control over a small world that you're
yeah,
the lord of.
I started
Oh, that's
printing
cool.
a wall rack for my filament. This is one of the brackets.
Do they have a big one? Is it a big one? Your 3D
Mine's
printer?
not huge, but yeah, they make like big ones. Yeah.
Maybe that's
This
what
is
I'll do. Maybe I should get a 3D printer. Maybe
So
that's what I'll
did
do
we
to
just
make my life
you
worse.
oh my god, it's so fun. I'm
'Cause that
printing
sounds like
like
fun.
No, one of the things that
How long?
I had a thing 3D printed. I cosplayed Vessel from Sleep Token. I had the mask 3D printed, and I like painted it and everything.
When you do that, how long does it take to print something?
it
I don't
depends on a lot of factors. Like how dense you want the fill of it to be, and how
Yes.
thick the layers and stuff. But like this took almost 5 hours. But
Damn.
but yeah, you can do little things like
Where's your little
I
cat?
had this black cat that I printed in like half an hour.
That's cute.
Yeah,
Ooh, I want to do it.
yeah.
Make a bunch of stuff.
I've
No
got
one
like
know what it.
models to make like a baby Cthulhu and stuff like that.
That's cute as hell. Maybe that's how I'll make my life worse.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Maybe I'll get a
Oh
3D
yeah,
printer.
I'm insufferable. I
And
talk
just
about it constantly now.
As is your
oh
life.
yeah, everyone's because guess what? Everybody's getting for Christmas?
Some 3D
Chess
printed shit.
pieces. Yep. Guess
Well,
what
I
you
mean,
get?
it's
You get this
honestly
elephant.
great. It's great for me because my loser ass is trying to break into the semi-professional cosplay game, so now I can just commission her for props.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because yeah, cosplaying costs change.
Oh, do you want to see the Vessel mask I made?
It's crazy. Cosplaying's like really fun. I'm
Yeah.
not good at it though. I always feel like when I go to Comic Cons or whatever, like I should do some form of costume.
Yeah.
No, I'm insane
Yeah,
about it. This was my most recent.
Ooh, that looks awesome.
I
On
did the
your
paint job
printer?
myself. No, I
That's
commissioned.
fucking cool.
There was a guy I commissioned for this because I do not have a 3D printer, but he did the mask for me. I found a file online of somebody who had already made it. Sent it to him. I was like, "Hey, can you
Whoa.
print this?" He was like, "Absolutely, I can." So he printed it for
Does it-
me.
guess-
I painted it. I added all this stuff. Made
Man,
the
that seems.
straps.
It also seems to be a way to like. I guess you can make anything happen, but it also takes a long time.
Oh
Like,
yes,
you
it
can
does.
really build out all
Yeah.
these things.
No, I go nuts. It's
Because
like,
that's kind of crazy. And also, it proves to me, because I didn't recognize that mask, and it just knows every time, whoa, that's amazing. But
It's
every
an
time you go to a
actual-
Comic-Con, whoa, I like that. But now you know that somebody that's at Comic-Con, if you don't know what it is, it's anime.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned about costumes.
Mhm.
So when I see something and I don't know what it is, I was like, oh, that's an anime thing.
I've been on like almost a year-long quest now to watch like all the most popular anime series, so now I know like the main characters and stuff.
I'm trying to talk to my employees to try to talk to the younger generations. It helps because they like anime way more than we ever liked anime growing. I don't, I like it way more now than I did when I was
she
in my
did a
20s.
Sick ass cosplay of Power from Chainsaw Man.
That's fucking sweet.
Yeah, I never
love
watched
Chainsaw
it
Man.
growing up. I was like 36, 37 when I watched my first anime.
That's like when I started. Well, I did college at Evangelion, and then everything else has been mid 30s.
Yep.
Okay.
now
while
we
got you here,
appreciate it.
I have one last thing I want to bring up because of who I am as a person.
Yes.
You probably can't see this. This necklace is the Ghost Cross. You went to one of the LA shows. What was that like?
Have you never been to a ritual?
Oh, I went to my first ritual this year. I was right on the barrier. I got a guitar pick from Phantom. I got my first tattoo this year. It's a tiny crucifix behind my ear.
That's awesome.
Ghost is my literal
it's
favorite
great.
thing in the entire world. I have like 12 Ghost shirts, 2 sweatshirts. I have like pajama pants.
When you like it,
Ghost
you know
is
he
the only thing
it's
I
like
care about.
I love him. He apparently that was a live taping.
Yeah. Apparently that's
that
going
we
to be
saw,
part of
and
their movie.
I can't wait.
Not just like a
Because
concert, not just like a concert film. Like, you know how they do the whole gimmick with the chapters? It is a feature film.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of. It was very beautiful. There was actually he missed some hits. He played some older stuff and a lot of the new album. He played a lot of the new album, which I like.
So much.
Yeah, I like the new album, and honestly, he's great.
He's freaking
He's
awesome.
just seeing him is great. I
genius.
love seeing him.
I
Again, it's bringing the pageantry back to Satanism, which
I
I think is very
myself
important.
On
I think,
fire for a 5-minute conversation with that man.
and he'd just be like, "Oh no, you are absolutely on fire."
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. But no, Ghost like fixed.
And you're like, "Oh."
Ghost like fixed me mentally.
He helped me. He does help me. I did dance like a devil the last time,
No,
and I got it. You know, he's
shit.
great. I want to meet him real bad. That was one I almost paid for the meet and greet.
I was going to,
but I was this close.
I had a separate account that I made just to save up for ritual tickets, and I got all the like fancy shit, but they weren't doing meet and greets because it was outdoor shows, and they like just didn't have like the facilities to do that.
He does a whole.
Next time,
there's like a controlled thing he
do
does.
it. I don't
Yeah,
care
there's
how
like
much money it is. Next time, I'm doing it.
And apparently his meet and greets are really. He's good at it.
No, and actually one of the
he's like fun.
I don't.
He's
know,
like engaging.
Like I'm just crossing my fingers that this actually worked out, but I did like I made stuff for everybody, and I like handed it off to security, and like he made eye contact with me at the end of the show, and I was like, "Take this, please," and he was like, "Give it to them." So I hope it made it.
You know, you guys, because a lot of times it does show up. It does come. Like he'll see all of it. It's just about whether or not he's like, "Can I fit this? Can I fit this?"
No,
I'm sorry,
so
he sounds like Dracula to me.
He does a little bit.
But yeah, he's awesome.
But no, Ghost is my literal favorite thing in the world, and I remember you mentioning.
You should check it out. I'm no spoilers. No, I'm not gonna do any spoilers, but you're gonna love it. You're gonna like them. It's awesome.
I have friends who were there who gave me a couple little updates, but I was like, I can't go.
It was awesome.
God, I wish that were me, but man, that sounds amazing.
No, it's great. Great time.
All
you
right.
know, me, I went with my brother-in-law.
I love that.
We had a nice time. You know.
So with that all being said, and me managing to, of course, bring up Ghost, the minimum legally required once per episode.
You got to.
As per my contract for existing as a human being. As always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we'll be back again next week. Henry, thank you so much for being here, for honestly making like literal dream come true for us having gotten this far in the podcast. I never thought we would be remotely in a situation to ever talk to anybody who like has ever worked on anything that I like admire. So this is fucking insane.
You're very sweet. That's very nice. I wish you best of luck. You're gonna do this for 150 more episodes, and then you get jaded.
Love to.
You're out on the road. You're just gonna be like, "I'm fucking bigger than this." You're gonna be sitting there smoking a cigar, being like, "Yeah, I'm fucking," you know. But it'll take years, though. But once you get there, you really have earned it.
That's fine. We're having fun doing it. And again,
Good.
If we didn't, we would literally just be too busy to ever talk to each other.
That's how you make friends.
So it's like,
that's what I do. Every time I want to see my friends, I do work.
We have to have mandatory fun, but why don't we also make that a thing? So that's what we do.
2023.
It's mandatory fun.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, seriously.
Thank you.
Enjoy whatever.
Thank you, Dr. Brookes. Thank you for explaining. Thank you explaining for your doctorhood for some reason that I made you do. I'm sorry I did that. I'm sorry. I was like, what are you? Oh, you're some kind of doctor? At least I wasn't like, can you please look at this deformation I have?
Yeah.
I always feel like I have to apologize for having a PhD. I'm like, I'm sorry.
It's not I'm sorry,
no.
It's not the helpful kind.
No,
not that it's not that.
No, you did it right. All right.
To be fair,
all right, guys. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan indeed. Bye.
Goodbye.
This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brooks, featuring very special guest Henry Zebrowski. You can find other episodes of Fighting with Friends and all episodes of The Last Podcast on the Left on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at brkelly98 at @AndSarahSaid, and at Henry Loves You. You can also find Henry on Instagram at DrFanTasty. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch and Facebook, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon for early access to episodes and fun bonus content. Thanks for listening!